Sir.
Correct.
U.S. Representatives for 12.
1/53rd of California's House delegation is this Intelligence Committee chairman. His name is Adam Schiff. Back to you, Veronica.
Composers for 2000.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Some big questions for the Senate as they decide whether or not to allow witnesses and new information. And there are a number of Republican senators who feel under the gun. They are up in tough re-election matches. And you can see some of that frustration, shall we call it, bubbling up in an interview, not an interview, Manu Raju in the halls of the Capitol today asked Senator Martha McSally if she was going to be willing to vote for witnesses. And she responded in a way that I was stunned by. Let's take a listen.
Senator McSally, should the Senate consider new evidence as part of the impeachment trial?
You're a liberal hack. I'm not talking to you.
You're not going to comment, Senator, about this?
Oh, my God.
He said he was just asking the question of the day, the one that you heard Senator David Perdue, Republican of Georgia, a strong supporter of the president, answer. He said, no, I don't think so. McSally just calls Manu Raju, respected widely on Capitol Hill by Democrats and Republicans, calls him a nasty name.
A prize-winning, excellent journalist, and what she does is want to attack the media in this case.
What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
And John, it's not just a bad moment for Senator McSally. She actually then tweeted out her staffer's little video caught on camera and doubled down in the name calling. Is this a strategy, or is this, what is this?
Cry me a river, dickface.
Competition now among the consultants and among the staff, and a legitimate question, what do we do? I'm running in a purple state, I'm running in a competitive race, I need independent, and I would like to get some Democratic votes. But what they're being told mostly is, she can't win without the Trump base. She can't. If she abandons the Trump base and the president turns on her, she's done.
McSally, should the Senate consider new evidence as part of the impeachment trial?
Man, you're a liberal hack. I'm not talking to you.
You're not going to comment?
Okay, so you heard that. You're a liberal hack. Well, based on the media reaction, you'd have thought Manu Raju got assaulted by McSally.
There's nobody who looks at him with a real objective lens and sees anything but objectivity.
This is not a biased reporter.
Senator, do you regret what you said?
No, Laura, I do not.
Senator McSally could have had a very easy answer. Nice to see you, Manu. We're about to begin the trial. Let's listen to the evidence, then we will make that decision. Perfectly reasonable, right? Perfectly reasonable. Instead, she attacks. She's made her decision.
And I said it again, actually, as I went in. I said, you're a liberal hack, buddy. As you know, I mean, these CNN reporters, but many of them around the Capitol, they are so biased. They are so in cahoots with the Democrats. They so can't stand the president. And they run around trying to chase, Republicans and ask trapping questions.
And it is a very incredibly telling moment. And not just, as you said, that she's called him a liberal hack, but that she's using it, as a campaign strategy. But there is also something that's really basic, which is grace under pressure and grace under fire. And I get the politics of this, what she's trying to do, as you just explained, but come on. I mean, really, come on.
I'm a fighter pilot. I called it like it is. And that's what we see out of the mainstream media, and especially CNN, every single day. So obviously, I'm gonna tell the truth, and I did it today, and it's laughable how they've responded.
Well, they were saying, you've gone full Trump.
Well, they've also said that it was unbecoming a senator, and I lashed out and all sorts.
What are they? I have a question, what do they do on a daily basis?
Right.
What they call Trump a Russian asset, they call all of you hacks on a daily basis. I mean, every line, and they always say, well, sources tell us, or what we understand, or people are saying.
Tonight, the New York Times is reporting that Donald Trump Jr. was told in an email before meeting last year with a Russian lawyer that this lawyer would offer him material that was part of a Russian government effort to aid his father's candidacy. The report, citing three anonymous sources, says Trump Jr. was informed that the Russian government was the source of the potentially damaging information about Hillary Clinton.
Committee. Now, we've been reporting that this email came on September 4th. That was before some of these documents were publicly available, but we have just obtained a copy of this email. And instead, we now learn that this email was on September 14th. So that is 10 days later than what we originally reported earlier today. And
Meanwhile, it's just the people at the CNN, reporters or producers meeting.
Exactly. And then the Democrat senators walk by and they say, hi, how are you today? And then they chase after the Republicans.
Now, the media took us here before with Michael Avenatti. Where is he today? His ass is in jail. Remember the porno star, Stormy Daniels? Where's she? No idea. Michael Cohen, remember him? He was going to bring down Trump on campaign charges. Where is he? He's in federal prison.
Manu Raju, as you said, is, and I'm not being defensive of him because he's my colleague, but there's nobody who looks at him with a real objective lens and sees anything but objectivity. And
do you really think I'm going to talk to the leading Democratic Party propaganda?
That was it? That's all I got?
That's pretty
lens and sees anything but objectivity.
But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
Well, creepy porn lawyer's presidential campaign has hit something of a speed bump. He's in prison tonight. So Jeffrey Zucker's minions need a new project. One of them is making an HBO documentary. We'll take a look back at the career of one of the least impressive people in this country. How do you get a TV show? Good question.
I mean, it's honestly ridiculous. As you know, they're cheerleading the Democrats. They hate the president.
Well, they're saying it's because you're in a tight race and they think you're going to lose in November. You're going to lose to the astronaut. And,
I speak the truth. I'm going to continue to do it. I've done it my whole life.
Wolf Blitzer commented, he interviewed the victim here, Manu Raju. Like, you're strong, but, I think he could take you probably. But they were demanding something.
Wait, you saying he could? Okay, well, I don't want to
go. They're demanding something from you. Watch.
I take it she or her staff, no one has reached out to apologize to you, have they?
I have not heard from them at all, Wolf.
Well, if they did the right thing, she would personally call you and say, I'm sorry, it was an awful, awful thing that she did.
I think they should apologize to James Earl Jones. He should get his voiceover back for This Is CNN.
Well, they have a lot of apologizing to do, and they should probably be filing FEC reports with the DNC, right?
Jeffrey Zucker's marionette, his name is Brian Stelter. Known him for a long time since he was in college. I think we have a picture here of Brian Stelter in 2004. And I can tell you as someone who's watched his career all this time, amazing that he has a job, much less one in television. Hard to find someone duller or more talentless. And yet not only does he have a show on CNN, now he has a show on HBO. What does that tell you about the standards of the people who run our country? This week, Stelter announced that he has spent 2 years producing a new feature entitled After Truth, Disinformation on the Cost of Fake News. It's hilarious. You'd think the irony alarms would be going off everywhere. Woo, woo, woo. This guy works at CNN, and that's a channel that spent 2 years pushing the Russia hoax. This is the channel that believed Jussie Smollett's hoax and many other fake crimes. And then there was the time Don Lemon, I will say it's charming at least, lectured his viewers on the peaceful nobility of Antifa.
It says it right in the name, Antifa, anti-fascism, which is what they were there fighting. Listen, there's, no organization is perfect. There was some violence. No one condones the violence, but there were different reasons for Antifa and for these neo-Nazis to be there. One, racist fascists. The other group fighting racist fascists. There's a distinction there.
There's a distinction, yeah. Antifa, good guys. A few months later, Lemon was explaining it was perfectly fine for a mob to target high school kids for the crime of wearing a Make America Great Again hat.
The MAGA hat carries a certain connotation that provokes a conditioned reaction from many people, especially from marginalized people.
Got it. Violence good, red hats bad. And then just last week, CNN settled a lawsuit, we're going to wonder if this is in the HBO documentary, with Covington student Nick Sandman. Remember, they tried to destroy his life. And these are the people lecturing you about fake news. Amazing. This is like hiring a homeless guy as your realtor. Bernie Madoff as your financial advisor. This kid is lecturing us on fake news.
Yeah, I wonder if the documentary will cover any of the myriad, multiple errors, false news stories, misleading stories, post-truth world that we live in, according to them. I wonder if their own role in that will be chronicled. I mean, I think that's the annoying thing, right? They act like everything was fine, and then all of a sudden Trump and the right-wing media, they created this dystopia we live in where you can't trust any information, and we are just these poor lost souls trying to deliver you the truth. We're not ideological. We're above the fray. That's their message. I don't think anyone believes that. I actually don't even think people on the left believe that.
And you'd think it would slow them down a little bit. You'd think they would have some scintilla of self-awareness, right? I mean, if I just paid millions of dollars to a high school kid for slandering him, I might pull back a little bit before lecturing other people about fake news, but their aggression seems to only increase.
Absolutely. You see, I read articles at CNN.com all the time about the horrifying world we live in that is more racist and sexist than ever before, that hate crimes are off the chart. Even as we see these things get debunked from time to time, even as we see the statistics shown to be misleading, they're living in this world where everything is so bad that it's just not like historically true. They have this ideological conviction that things must be the worst they've ever been. And I keep thinking, like, people, there was misleading news out there, by the way, before social media existed, before the moment we live in. Newspapers have been, convincing the American public to support stupid things for decades, probably centuries. So it's just not, it's alarmism, and that's kind of what they're promoting.
And it's being rewarded. I want to live in a world where impressive people rise to the top and unimpressive people park my car. Brian Stelter should be parking my car, but he has an HBO show.
And it would be great if they didn't keep putting intelligence officials who've been discredited over and over again on their network to promote.
That would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, hilarious. Robbie, thank you.
You'd go, hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf! What is she doing? I never know what she's doing.